Hey, everybody out there, Cheese Kingdom YouTube. Today, I have a good friend of mine. All right. You want to learn how to make money? Watching football, too. You know what I'm saying? I'm lazy like that. I want to learn how to make money. So I brought a friend to help you out. My buddy Dan is here to talk to you today. Sit back, chill, relax, and you might make a few dollars. You're welcome.
Hey
All
man,
right. Hey, everybody out there, Cheese Kingdom YouTube. It's your boy, Big Chief Shawn. I want to introduce you to my boy, Dan. Say what's up, Dan.
hey man, what's up, Big Chief Shawn? Man, I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate the cowboy hat because we talked about this. I was like, I need the hat. And
Hey man,
because he knows me, I'm all about hats. And lo and behold, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. I was doing this all for you. Because I said that, I was like, my fans won't be happy until they see the hat.
hey man, I'm here to
Put
serve,
the hat
man.
on now. Do it now.
Hey man, you ask and you got it, man. I brought the cowboy. I brought the A game, man. I got the cowboy hat going. So,
And do not be fooled, y'all. Yes, it's a cowboy hat, but he is not a Cowboys fan. He is, I would say, what, 8% a Chiefs fan or 100%?
100% Chiefs fan.
Okay, he is 100% Chiefs fan. Y'all.
I have been a Chiefs season ticket holder since 1989.
Yes, be impressed. It's okay. You know, you on my channel, be impressed, but I am, because that's a long ass time. That's a long ass time.
Sat through a lot of games, man. Sat through a lot of games, and man, I'm diehard Chiefs fan. But my YouTube channel, I talk all 32 teams. It's just it's an opportunity for all 32 fan bases to come together and join it together. It doesn't matter. You could be a Raiders fan, you could be a Broncos fan, you could be one of those 32 Chargers fans in the world, and you could still come to my channel. We can talk football. It doesn't matter who you're a fan of. You're welcome on the Dan Show.
Yes, and that is one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring my boy on here, because he's very open. You know what I mean? He has an open eye and open mind to everybody's opinion, which is badass. Because I go on this channel and I talk to a lot of good people, and I met some good friends throughout that. You know, several big fan nuts like myself. You know, sitting here talking football, comparing notes and all that kind of cool stuff. That's the kind of stuff that help communities grow. You know what I mean? So when you see that, you appreciate that. You know, like how people appreciate me when I do the tailgate thing, because it's like it's bringing people together. You know, everybody's having a good time. They see the camera, they want to have fun, and that's what it's all about. You know, but in his case, he just wants to make you money too. So I can't do that.
Well, yeah, one of the things that I do that's a little different than a lot of channels out there is I do sports betting, and my channel is more than just about sports betting, but I put my money where my mouth is. I just don't make bold predictions just to talk. I actually back it up. Over the last couple of years, I've been able to make money betting on the National Football League, and what I do on my YouTube channel is you see everything firsthand. I show you what I bet, and you can copy it, you can disagree. One of my favorite things is I got some sports bettors that come on my show like, hey Dan, I listened to you, I put this bet down and I went ahead and won, made some money, thank you. And that's what it's all about. I talk the talk and I walk the walk. You know, for example, I put action down on the Chiefs to win the AFC West. So right now it looks like it's a pretty safe bet, you know.
Smart investment. I would like to say so. I mean, coming 7-4, number one in the division right now, basically beating the Broncos, beating the Chargers, will put them a set that. You know, because there's a lot of people are saying that we could come out. Now, one reason why he can make you a lot of money is very knowledgeable on football, especially football. That's just bread and butter. Make you that money real quick.
That's the only thing I do, man. I have no idea who won the world. You know, the only reason
Right.
I know who won the World Series is because one of my subscribers is a diehard Houston sports fan, and he kept on tweeting about it. Like, who won the NBA Finals? I don't know. I think the Lakers were in it. I have no clue. I really have no clue. I follow football. As soon as the Super Bowl ends, I break down all 32 teams. I got a plus-minus system, and then I get ready for the draft. This is the only thing I do 365 days a year. I am doing something football related. That's it. Royals went to the World Series. I didn't watch a single pitch. I didn't know. I mean, I knew, when they lost and I knew when they won. I didn't watch any of it. I had to hear it from other people. But
Right.
that's all I do is football. That's it. I eat, sleep, breathe football. That's it.
Man, a kindred spirit to your boys on fire. Now that I know this and people know you, and obviously I'm going to go out of my way to put your link in the description down below. So
oh man, I appreciate that. Man.
And make sure you go to his channel. All right. Look, we ain't even done with the video. I'm already helping y'all make money. They're coming in.
I appreciate that.
You gotta like my video first. First like my video, sub my video first, right? Then you click on his link and you do the same for him. Okay, don't play around. All right. I'm making y'all some money. The least you can do is hit the thumbs up button. That algorithm is hating on your boy Big Chief Shawn real bad. Okay, trying to make a 500 subs. I'm like 47 away. It is ridiculous. Come on, y'all, help me out.
Man, if you're not hitting that thumbs up button, what's wrong with you? And seriously, it takes less than a second to make your world better. Hit that subscribe button, people.
You want to see my face? Matter of fact, hit the bell too, so you can see me all the time. But shameless plug aside, my friend. Let's talk Chiefs football. Okay.
All right.
We're number one in the division. We're taking on the Broncos. Broncos who lucked out. Well, I wouldn't say lucked out and beat the Raiders, or was it the Chargers? It was the Chargers,
they
right?
Beat the Chargers. Yeah.
People saying the AFC is easy pickings. I wouldn't call it easy pickings. I would actually call it fighting for survival. I would prefer that, but I think the fact that every team in the AFC is fighting so hard is going to show the grit of the last one standing. Right now, do we look like can we be that one? Or are we that one last one standing?
In my opinion, the Kansas City Chiefs are, I think, really head and shoulders the best team in not just the AFC West. I mean, we're easily the best team in the AFC West. I think we're the best team in the AFC.
Yeah, be honest, man.
Let me tell you this here. Let me tell you this here. All right. The last 4 weeks, the Chiefs have given up 47 points. That's less than 12 points a game. All right.
Yeah.
The last 4 weeks. And this is when the defense is healthy. So defense is healthy, been dominating. All right. If somebody told you at the beginning of the season that, hey, the defense is dominating, but I'm a little worried about Mahomes' interceptions, you would have thought that person was on crack. You would have been like, you're worried about Mahomes when the defense is playing great. What do you? And that's exactly what we're at now, folks. The biggest concern people have about Kansas City is Mahomes going to turn the ball over too much. We have the best quarterback in the National Football League, and people are worried about him throwing picks. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Listen, when healthy, this is the best team in the AFC, and it's really by a large margin. I would say the only team that poses a threat would be Tennessee, and that's if you have Derrick Henry at 100%, and I don't think that's going to happen.
So, all right, then, you're so confident, Mr. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Put it in bet terms. Like, I want the people to see how good you're at what you're doing. You say you talk that talk. I want to see that walk. Put it in betting terms. Why the Chiefs are number one in the league? What?
Well, before the season started, I put a $200 bet on the Kansas City Chiefs to win the AFC West. Now, keep in mind, the odds are really bad. So that $200 bet's only going to net me, I think it was $60 or $70. So, like, when I collect on this, I bet 200. I'm going to walk out of the casino. Let's just say 260 or 270. But I put my money where my mouth is. Now, this is probably. Hey, a win's a win. I'm probably going to lose this bet. I bet $100 on the Chiefs over 12.5 wins now. So if the Chiefs win out the rest of the season, finish at 13-4. 13's a bigger number than 12.5. So I go ahead and I win that $100. But basically to point out some things that I'm going to point this out. There's another channel that was nice enough to come on my show, and I came on his show 2 weeks ago when the Chiefs traveled to Vegas for Sunday night. He does sports betting as well. He's like, well, I got the Raiders winning. And I was like, oh, slow down here. Let's take a look at this a little more detail. Let's look at Andy Reid's record against the AFC West. And at the time, it was 26-4 over the last couple of years. And then take a look at that inexperienced head coach and what's been going on with the Raiders. You got people dying in car crashes. You got players making videos getting kicked off the team. And, you got both
Raiders
coaches. I mean, you got both coaches got one win at that New Vegas stadium, but Andy Reid's got another 220 wins behind him. So maybe you ought to reconsider it. And he's like, Dan, you know what? I was going to bet on the Raiders. I'm going to bet on the Chiefs. And guess what happened? The Chiefs won by what? 4 touchdowns? And so, now this week, the Chiefs are a 9.5 point favorite, which is a big number. Full disclosure, I don't know if I would bet that number, but if you want to put a little bet on the Chiefs to win the money line, and that's just a win or lose. You have to bet a lot to win a little, unfortunately, but I think it's a very safe investment. I don't see any way the Chiefs lose this week to the Denver Broncos. Nothing but respect. I think that
no. We're at the end of the see. This is what I love about you. You're a very nice man because you're so open-minded and open. You don't close borders on anybody. You talk to everybody for every fan base. So you don't want to be mean. So let me do it for you. They got to be out of their god fucking dang mind. They think they're gonna come here and beat the Broncos. How about that? It's my channel. I say right.
I got one of my subscribers joins on. His name's Denver Gator, and he's probably going to subscribe to your channel. He hasn't yet. Denver Gator, what are you doing?
Yeah, but I think he has though.
Okay, good.
We're giving him a shout out right now. Denver Gator.
Denver Gator knows his stuff, man.
I'm pretty sure he has.
Give the Broncos. By the way, last time I was at Arrowhead, I sat right next to some Broncos fans, drove from Colorado, and they're like, "Hey, we're here for the Arrowhead experience." I said, "You're gonna get butt kicked." I'm like, "Okay." And they know that they're going to lose. And before the season started, I had Denver as the second best team in the AFC West. Ooh. I thought that they were the only team that could really compete with Kansas City because they got a ton of weapons on offense. But
they don't know how to use them.
No, they don't.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Here's the problem.
Sorry.
The Denver Broncos is like watching a Ferrari pull one of those cheap campers.
Yeah.
That's what they remind me of because they got all this offensive talent, but their offense is stuck in the 1980s. They don't know what they're doing. They should have went with my boy Drew Lock. Now me and Drew Lock went to the same high school. I mean,
it's nobody's fault that they're on when they use tape. They use old John Elway videos. That doesn't help them, but it does feel good. I bet it feels good a little bit. I mean, seriously, dude. I literally looked at a tweet before I got this set up to talk to you. And they said hold on. And with the power of editing, I'm going to remove that. Snap. But they said the last time the Broncos beat us. You want to know who was on the team?
Oh, I remember. I was at that game. That game.
The actual, I'm saying it wrong. But the actual question is, who from our squad now was on that team the last time?
Oh God. Who was on our team?
You ready for this? Ready for this? Sorensen.
Is it Sorensen?
Kelsey, and Winchester. That's it.
Really?
Yep. The last time Denver beat us, Kelsey, Winchester, and Sorensen.
Because I remember that game. I know you do.
Or the only people that's still on the team.
Wow. I had Sorensen. I should have had Kelsey too.
Yeah. And Winchester. That's it.
Wow.
Everybody.
I'm sitting here racking my brain. Was Tyreek Hill and DeMarcus Robinson drafted the year after, or were they rookies that year? They were the year after.
The year after that they were rookies.
Yeah, I remember. That was. Yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I didn't. Hey man, full disclosure. I mean, it was a great game. Great game.
Yeah.
I mean, I was devastated. I was devastated, but
hey man, this is all the karma because I used to live in Denver, believe it or not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I used to
live there.
Oh man.
And the worst part was I moved there in 1996.
Oh no.
And I didn't move until 99.
No. Oh God. Oh yeah, you saw some.
Yeah, a lot of pointing fingers. A lot of that. Ha ha ha! How can you be a Chiefs fan?
Oh man, I'll give you.
I can't argue with y'all because y'all won the Super Bowl, but that's fine.
In terms of pure sports hatred, I lived in Baltimore. I'm showing my age a little bit. I was in Baltimore, in 1983 when Baltimore Colts drafted John Elway, and Elway gave the city of Baltimore the middle finger. There's still people in Baltimore that are mad at John Elway this year. So,
really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that is
people,
an insult to y'all. It is.
Yeah, because we thought he was going to be the next great quarterback, the savior of the Baltimore Colts, and then he just gave the city of Baltimore the middle finger and said, he wouldn't play. And the next year, the Colts moved, to Indianapolis. So there's still people. So it was funny. I'm 9 years old and I'm moving to Kansas City. I'm going to be a Chiefs fan, and I know nothing about, I'm 9 years old. So I remember the first thing I thought was, hey, at least I don't have to deal with John Elway anymore. And
wrong.
I was wrong there. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I ever met John Elway in person, that'd be kind of cool. But as far as sports hatred is concerned, there's no one ever.
I did once. But it was like I met the guy. He was opening up an ESPN zone downtown.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was told he owns like a bunch of car dealerships and stuff out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He like the entire team back then were guys. They could literally do whatever they wanted to do. Like it was, how terrible it is for me.
I can imagine, man.
People, what cars people like to drive down there?
What?
Broncos. I'm not even joking.
Man, those years must have been hell for you, man. At least we got you on the right side, man.
But you said you're from Baltimore, right?
I moved. I'm showing my age here a little bit. Here, I moved when I was 9, so I've lived almost in the Kansas City area for the last 40 years.
Okay, so you can remember this. You can remember. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you can remember this. So I want to ask you a question as a Baltimore native, technically.
Yeah.
What hurt your feelings more, the middle finger from Elway or the owner moving the Colts to Indianapolis?
If I'm being real, it's more the middle finger from Elway, because a lot of people feel that if Elway just would have done what every other player in the history of time did, the Colts would still be in Baltimore. I mean, I remember I was a little kid. It wasn't empty stadiums. It wasn't like nobody was coming to the games. I mean, Baltimore's at football, actually a great sports town. But Irsay was kind of a crazy owner. I mean, the guy, his son who runs the team now, he's had some issues with the wall. I mean, I don't want to go into too much detail, but I mean, he's known for being a little off kilter. Look, Chiefs got great ownership.
Yeah.
The Colts, I'm going to say don't. But, I'm mad about it. But, I moved here about 3 weeks after the Colts moved.
Nice.
So it was no, hey, we're definitely going to be Chiefs fans. And then when Marty Schottenheimer became head coach, me and the dad were like, hey, Marty's going to bring a winning team here. We're going to get season tickets, because before then, you could actually walk up to Arrowhead and you could go up to the ticket booth and you could sit anywhere you wanted. It was like going to the movie theater. It's like, where do you want to sit? You want to go club level? You want to go lower level? You want to go upper level? You can't do that shit today.
No. Oh, hell no.
You cannot do that shit today. But back then you could.
They personally have Harry Potter readers sitting at stands now, ready to take your soul if you want to sit in the lower stands. Like, seriously, bro. Seriously. But let's get back to the Chiefs.
All right. My favorite subject, man.
Next to talking to me, it better be next to talking to me. But the Chiefs are hot right now, right?
Oh yeah.
Defense seems like it's got his head out of his a-hole. I mean, I want to say this is legit. I do. And Denver is not going to, I want to say Denver, because it's, the rule, any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Anyone can lose any time.
Yeah.
But it's Denver, and we pretty much dominate the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, because you're a bet man, and you were very, very, very worried about the winning out thing. What does worry you about the winning out thing? What game seems to tell you, nah, we might not?
As far as I'm concerned, that bet, once the Chiefs hit a 3-4 mark, I was like, well, I don't know if they can win out. So I kind of just wrote that bet off. But when I look at the Chiefs schedule, and I can pull it up right now. I don't have it pulled up right now, but
oh yeah, you can pull it up right now.
here's the thing: the Chiefs are going to be favored in every single game. It's just going to be one of those things where it's going to be a fluke. As far as I'm concerned, the Chiefs win healthy, and early in the season they weren't healthy. All right, Frank Clark was out. They did this Chris Jones to outside move, which I was not at all happy with. They had
anybody was.
No, and and I understand the logic behind it. A lot of people don't, but I do understand the logic behind it.
I mean, obviously, as football aficionados, we understand why they did it because he's lean, and they thought he would be faster going around people instead of going through people. And I try to tell people, especially when it comes to defense, when you take a defender away from what he's good at, you might as well just let him be bad on purpose. Like, I understand that you want players to be more well-rounded. That is the goal, especially in defense. You want to be able to put a guy anywhere and say, hey, do this. But that is not the reality. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
That's just not how it goes. I would never have Aaron Donald covered. I would never have, like some people will say, like, oh, the reason why Sorensen is bad. Yeah, he's bad. But remember, when Spags first had him, he just kept him good at what he was good at. Just like the same thing with Marcus Peters. Like, people think Marcus Peters is great. No, he's not great. The Chiefs let him do whatever he wanted to do. That's why he started off as good as he was doing. Like, oh, you ball hawk to the left, stay on the left. We don't need you to do that. And I think that's why the Chiefs are doing so successful in the defense. But like I said, and you know what I'm saying, we're going to get back to that defense for sure. But I really want to know what game in your mind is telling you, like, we can't win out? Like, is there a game, or is just you're going by your betting statistics?
I'm telling you this right now. Now, as far as betting is concerned, the Chiefs last year were one of the worst teams in the NFL to bet on. They were comically bad because even though they won all their games, they didn't cover the spread in any of them. It was all they were like for example, they're a 9.5 point favorite against Denver. They could win 38-31 and not cover. If you had to say, are the Chiefs going to cover the spread this week? Are they going to cover 9.5? I honestly don't know. I really don't. I could see the Chiefs being up by 10 and giving up a late touchdown to make it interesting. I could see the Chiefs winning 31-10. I could also see the Chiefs winning 31-24. Do I see the Chiefs losing? Absolutely not. But I mean, 9.5. If you don't know this in betting numbers, 9.5 is a big fucking number. I mean, that's a big number.
I don't even like, and to say that. Well, actually, finish that question, but we're gonna get to the betting thing, because this is what you're good at. This is your forte, it's your shtick. And like I said, everybody, hopefully, if I know what I'm doing for this cost, I will have that link down in the description so you can get my man, so we can get you on that betting game, making you some money. We're gonna get back to that. But like you saying, from your betting perspective, where do they get that 9-point thing? Let my people know who are like trying to get into it.
Oh, okay.
Understand it from your eyes.
All right,
like,
sure. Okay, now
they say 9.5. Why would they say
9.5? 9.5 is the number. Now, where they get the number from is that it's from Vegas odds makers, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to put a number that people from both sides can bet on. The Chiefs currently, now usually home field advantage is 3 points. So you take two even teams. Now, two even teams, the home team will be a 3-point favorite. That's a general rule. All right, that's just a general rule. Sometimes it can be 3.5, sometimes it can be 2.5. 3 is just your universal standard. All right. So you're saying on a neutral field, Kansas City is about a touchdown better. They're 6.5 points better than the Denver Broncos. And that's what Vegas odds makers, people that have no interest in the game. They're not Chiefs fans, they're not Broncos fans. They're just looking at it as a pure mathematical algorithm. Basically, the Kansas City Chiefs measure out at 6.5 points. Right. And currently, there's not been too much action either way to dictate it. Like, if a lot of people were betting on Kansas City, well, the number would go from 9.5 to 10. Also, if you do have, by the way, if you're not familiar with NFL sports betting, or you're not familiar with sports betting at all, it can be very confusing. There's a lot of numbers. The first time I looked at something, I'm like seeing this -110 plus 9.5. I would be confused as hell.
Right.
Attached to my YouTube channel, all my social media links and my email. Hit me up and I can break everything down for you basically 101. Something I've been meaning to do is put out like a sports betting 101 video for people that have never done sports betting before.
Because that's one of the things, and that's just human nature. You know what I mean? Nobody will delve in anything that seems too different.
Exactly. Like, and by the way, it's coming legal to Missouri. It's already hit the Missouri legislature board. It's probably going to be legal in Missouri. Sports betting's coming to Kansas City very soon. It's probably going to be legal in Missouri next year. It's coming, folks. It's coming.
Y'all heard it. It's coming. So, get your shit together. Go to Dan's YouTube channel and then sit there and watch the man bet. Do what he do, okay? Why are you making this so damn difficult? But we swerve because that's my boy, and I love Dan. Y'all have no idea because we're gonna.
Man, Shawn's my boy, man. I mean,
yeah, because y'all don't know. One day, the video we're going to the carnival together to get very loaded on.
We gonna eat fried Oreos. Snacks. We gonna eat fried Twinkies.
Fried everything.
We go into town.
We have no fear. Look at his face.
No fear. I'm not.
Look
afraid.
at his face. Okay?
You know what? I'll even do one different. Not only are we gonna go to town, we're gonna eat everything. I'm gonna bring the hat.
See that?
I'm bringing the hat.
You getting fried foods and the hat.
We gonna eat fried everything. We gonna get fried everything, and I'm gonna be wearing the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I don't care. It could be like 105 degrees out there. I don't care. I'll be there with the hat, eating fried foods. Whatever.
Have your mouth watering, and it's just for the hat alone. You ain't even looked at the food.
We go into town, man. We go into town.
I'm telling you. But let's roll back into the Chiefs, man.
All right.
And we'll discuss this defense.
Sure.
Oh, is this it? Is this our defense now? Are we repeating? Or, matter of fact, to be more honest to you, or actually more honestly, are we repeating 2019?
I think we are.
Because, like, you remember 2019 started the same way, and our defense was not great, not even good for a few weeks. We were worst one defense in the league. Week 11, snap, boom, all of a sudden, here's Frank Clark, here's Chris Jones, even Dan Sorensen making super plays. They're doing this again, and with the opponents that we have, I'm feeling that we're going to do it in succession. Is this it? Like, are we repeating 2019? Could we be the sneaky runner-up to get to that Super Bowl? Like, matter of fact, I want you to answer that and ask what team could be that one that says could deny us. What is that? Especially when we're going to talk about just the AFC for right now.
All right.
Super Bowl, obviously, we have to worry nobody in the NFC, of course. But I know there's an AFC team in your mind that's giving you that reluctant thought of hustle. Yeah, because you're a very confident man. You know what you're feeling. And what team is making you feel like that? Or teams?
I'll be honest. I think, okay, let me start with the Chiefs first. A lot of people don't know this, and I kept on telling people this. I made some money betting on the Super Bowl. A lot of people didn't realize, but the Chiefs defense actually gave up fewer points than the 49ers defense. But everybody kept on saying the 49ers had this great defense. But if you look at it, what's most important in a defense? It's points allowed. Well, the Chiefs gave up 308. The San Francisco 49ers gave up 310. Now, for you people that aren't very good at math, 308 is a smaller number than 310. But a lot of people kept on saying the 49ers had this great defense. I was like, well, which defense gave fewer points? And see, what happened is after the Tennessee game, the Kansas City Chiefs made multiple changes to their defense and their defensive personnel. So what the Kansas City Chiefs did is they got help and they added Melvin Ingram. And Ingram's a big part of it because what the Chiefs defensive line did is that they were trying to put the best players on the field. And when they didn't have Frank Clark available, they moved Chris Jones to defensive end to play him out of his element. They got a couple defensive tackles who are not bad players, but they're not impact players. Well, now you get Frank Clark healthy. You get Chris Jones healthy. Now you get Melvin Ingram healthy. You put Chris Jones back in his natural position. Anthony Hitchens is healthy. And Hitchens is key because he puts Michael Bolton and Willie Gay in the right position to succeed. And these two guys are just stud athletes, especially Bolton. Now, Willie Gay's a phenomenal freak of nature. Bolton, I think, is going to be the guy for the next 12 years that we're going to be talking about. Like that guy's the stud linebacker.
Especially if he plays the way he plays, the aggressive hitting, breaking through defensive man, breaking through offensive linemen like he does.
Exactly. Here's the thing, but when you put him, when Hitchens was gone and you put him in a position where he's the middle linebacker, he's the quarterback of the defense, and he's setting people up, I think it's too much for a rookie to ask. But when you have Hitchens saying, okay, you're going to be here, Gay, you're going to be here, we're going to have Chris Jones on the inside where he should have been all along, and then you get Frank Clark healthy on the outside. You got Melvin Ingram, a guy who I absolutely love, coming out of USC, South Carolina. They call South Carolina USC down there, but anyway, I loved him as a Charger. I wanted him in Kansas City. I hope he stays in Kansas City, but I don't see that happening. But he's here for this year, and that's the key, is that the defense is solid. And then what do you got on the other side of the ball? You got a future Hall of Fame tight end, the fastest receiver in the NFL, and Tyreek Hill. And then you got the best quarterback in I mean, if you want to argue that if you want to say
what's ridiculous about the whole Mahomes thing this year is he has 11 touchdowns, but it's still less than everybody else who they consider for an MVP. And he has more yards, and he has more touchdowns, and he's having an off year.
Hey, can I blast PFF, because I think I sent this to you, and if I did, PFF has him ranked as the 22nd best quarterback in football.
We both know, and if anybody doesn't know, we don't like Pro Football Focus. We think they're full of shit. We always have.
Full of shit.
They make up stuff just to make players that they like look good, because the stats they use just statistically are stupid. Like, well, since 2014, this player has the most amount of this. Like, man, shut up, man. Stick to the stats that matter.
PFF makes no damn sense whatsoever. Anybody,
in their opinion, think Dak Prescott is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever lived by their standards. Dak Prescott.
I'm going to tell you this: anybody who argues, and one of the things about my channel is I had one of my guests. Who's been on for a long time. Me and him disagreed back and forth over the draft. And he's like, Dan, isn't it great that two grown men can disagree about football without one man calling the other man a name? And I was like, I wish I would have said that.
Yeah.
And you can always disagree with me. I have no problems with that whatever. However, if you come at me and you're like, well, PFF has Mahomes as the 20th best quarterback, and that's why my quarterback's better, because I think Ryan Tannehill's like maybe the second or third best quarterback PFF. Are you telling me you want Tannehill? Are you telling me you want Tannehill over Mahomes? Please tell me that. Please tell me that. That's what you want.
See, those
don't use PFF to argue with me. That's
the kind of people who just want to stir up an argument. PFF, like, I'm sorry, I get it. Y'all recognized on television, but then they recognize that Ryan Tannehill is a good. The NFL flips flop every other day anyway. They said we were finished in week 4, but here we are in week 11, and we're looking like we're about to run the top of the AFC. So that really just tells you what players know. It really just that kind of stuff just pisses me off. How people are so quick to go to that and go to their statistics. Their statistics are almost as bad as Madden's, because Madden don't care.
It's like every other week. And by the way, a lot of you Chiefs fans at 3 and 4 jumped off the bandwagon. You should be banned, but we gonna welcome you back. We gonna welcome you back. I knew even at 3 and 4 that this team could get turned around.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the issue is, with a good defense, this team's the best team in the AFC. And right now, the defense is healthy and playing really good football. To answer your question, is there a team that's a threat? I would say the only team that really scares me is Tennessee with Derrick Henry. Without Derrick Henry, the only team I could see us playing in the AFC Championship game, and I think we would win, would be New England. And you know what? I'm not afraid of New England at all. I got some New England fans on my channel. One guy in particular, he said New England's best team in the AFC, and I'm like, no. Rookie quarterback in the playoffs against Mahomes? Yeah, good luck. Good luck. And Since Mahomes has taken over the Kansas City Chiefs, we've been able to beat New England. We had that one playoff loss in the AFC Championship game, but we've had multiple wins.
Mahomes has in his career so far.
Yeah, I mean, the Mac. Don't get me wrong. Now, 2022, that might be a different story. But do I see a rookie quarterback with? Now that defense is scary, but do I see a rookie quarterback with those weapons stopping Kansas City? No, I don't see that at all. I don't consider New England a legitimate threat to Kansas City.
I feel you. At least you being honest. And now the defense is doing good, and that's great. But why is our offense sucking so hard? Like, you know, it's really one. Especially in seeing we have a team that can score 35 points at will. I'm wondering, like, what is going on, man? Like,
all right,
what's the deal? Let me know.
I can tell you exactly what it is. Early in the season, when we had all those injuries on defense, you could see our team was pressing. We knew that we had to score 30, 40, 50 points a game because our defense couldn't stop, a rock through a paper towel. I mean, the defense was garbage and it was banged up. So that was the whole mistake. Everybody kept on pushing. You saw players do uncharacteristic things. Like somebody was trying to point out today, I saw on social media, like, Rob Gronkowski's the best tight end when healthy. And his argument was, well, Kelsey leads the NFL in drops, or he has 7 drops this year. It's not that he has drops, it's just that he's trying to do more because earlier in the year they couldn't rely on the defense. And that caused the team to press. It caused the snowball effect. So now that's out of the way, what teams are doing is that there's no secret how to beat Kansas City. You put 2 safeties in the parking lot. You try to double team Kelsey. You try to double team Hill, and then you force Miracle Hardman or Demarcus Robinson or the running game to beat you, which is a slower process.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that when the Chiefs don't make turnovers, they're unstoppable. Yeah. You cannot. The only thing that stops Kansas City is themselves. Yeah. When people try to tell me the Chargers were a threat to the Chiefs, I'm like, let me get this straight. We lost the turnover battle 4-0, and they beat us by less than a touchdown. But they're a better team. Give me some of that what you're smoking. I want to get high as a kite right now, like you are. No, they're not a better team. You watch. If you think that they're a better team, you watch Denver blow them out. Watch Sunday night when Kansas City beats Denver, and then tell me the Chargers have a better team. Tell me that.
I couldn't have said it better, man. But honestly, this offense really needs to get it in gear, man. And I'm wondering, do they do that, or are they going to just ride this defensive train as long as they, and tail that?
Look, I'm an old school guy, and I think defense wins championships.
Of course.
And ultimately, when the Chiefs defense plays the way it's played, listen, the last 4 games, the Chiefs have given up less than 12 points a game.
Yeah.
If the defense keeps playing the way it's playing, there's no chance. I mean, there's no chance. And the best part is that this Chiefs team's different than the Chiefs team from last year. What they have is a big, physical, powerful offensive line, but they do struggle in pass protection. If you watch Orlando Brown, one of my favorite players, by the way, he does struggle in pass protection. But watch when you run behind him. How many guys are knocking? Let me challenge you this. Let me challenge you and anybody who wants to disagree. Go back and watch some film and find somebody who knocked Orlando Brown on his ass. Find a defensive player who bull rushed Orlando Brown and knocked him on his ass. Find it. Let me see if it's out there. I'm gonna tell you. I'll save you. I'll save you the trouble. It doesn't exist. His struggles is in pass protection, but when the Chiefs run the ball, they're almost unstoppable. And the reason why is because you have the threat of Tyreek Hill and you have Mahomes and you got 2 safeties in the parking lot. Anytime you want to put 8, 9 in the box, you want to blitz Mahomes, go ahead. Please do it. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. But it does present a problem because it's a slower offense. It's not as explosive. And the Chiefs have shot themselves in the foot. We had that CEH fumble against Baltimore, cost us the game. Travis Kelce had a fumble. He's had a couple of fumbles. Earlier, Was it last week? I watched. It was like a third and 7 play. Miracle Hardman hits the ball right in the hands. He drops it. The thing is with Kansas City, the only thing stopping Kansas City from just rolling over everybody is Kansas City. That's it.
But does Reed wake up? Like, because we both know he doesn't do that. We both know that Reed, that's just not his game, man. You know how he feels about it. I run a heavy offense. He doesn't do it.
No,
and obviously you say that. I've said that to several people who would be nice enough to give me an ear, that you drafted 5 great linemen, but you didn't remember that you got them from all run heavy offenses.
That was something ridiculous. I tried telling people, is that be careful, because Orlando Brown was a Pro Bowler in Baltimore,
which they were
they run the ball about 80% of the time.
That last game that we played against, did you see all those gaps that they were leaving open? Because that's what they do. That's what they are. They're an aggressive offensive line. They want to run to the defender, hit you, and give you a pass. They don't really want to just stand there, stationary, trying to keep you protected. They would prefer it if they did that. But we both know Reed don't play like that.
Hey, look, you got to dance with the dog. You got to dance with the dog who brought you, or what's that phrase called? You got to dance with the girl you brought, or whatever it is. Look, Andy Reid's won a Super Bowl. As far as I'm concerned, he's one of the greatest coaches in NFL history.
Of course.
And if he wants to throw the ball 70% of the time, hey, we're going to throw the ball 70% of the time. Would I like to run the ball more? Sure. I'm an old school guy. I was a Chiefs season ticket holder in '89 when we had Marty Ball. I loved Marty Ball. I would love it if the ghost of Marty Schottenheimer would come back and just be our offensive coordinator, and we ran the ball, 50, 60 times a game. I would love it, but ultimately, you got a guy who won the Super Bowl by throwing the ball. Hey, look, we're going to throw the ball. If we throw the ball, we play good defense, I still like our chances. There's really not a team in the AFC that can really compete with Kansas City as long as Kansas City stays healthy.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, it doesn't really seem like the funk of whatever Mahomes and others not going to even last long. The last game we saw them dancing together. A lot of people wanted to underestimate the fact they only scored 19 points. Don't forget that they were trying to get back to what they were doing, and it's hard. It's really frustrating when people say this. You only scored 19 points.
It's a double-digit win.
When you step back and look at it, it's
a double-digit win against a team that was competing for the 1 seed in the NFC. A double-digit win.
Right.
And take a look 2 weeks ago. Mahomes throws 400 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Raiders.
Right.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm looking at that game. I was like, I'd probably give Mahomes a 7. How many NFL quarterbacks are out there that go for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, and you're like, it's a 7? But it was a 7. It wasn't one of the. I'll go further than that. There's probably 5 or 6 games in Mahomes' career that he played better than that Raiders game, and that's 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Right.
I mean, how many quarterbacks are there that's their best game of their career? And I watched it, and I was like, I'd give him that. That's like a C. That's it. It was a C. It was okay. I mean, it was all right. It was 405 touchdowns. But no, I'm serious. If you go back and you watch, I was like, well, you missed that throw and that throw, and then you missed that read, and and I mean, seriously, if he played an 8 game, he could have had 500 yards and 8 touchdowns.
Yeah, that was a beautiful game. Yeah, well, and I guess I shouldn't be so worried, but it's our division rivals. They always give us the issue. They're the ones that's going to give us that permanent problem.
I almost forgot about this, and this is a great betting tip. Look up Andy Reid after a bye.
Okay.
Look up Andy Reid, and since he's been in Kansas City, he's only lost once, and that was his first year after a bye. And he's done that since Philly. The record is just ridiculous. The odds of Andy Reid losing after a bye, when Denver did play last week, they beat the Chargers team that I kept on trying to tell people the Chargers are very overrated team. I know that when they beat the Chiefs and they were 3-0, everybody thought they were a Super Bowl team. I'm like, no, listen. They got very lucky to beat Kansas City. They won won the turnover battle 4-0. They didn't stop Kansas City. I watched, what was it, 3 turnovers in the first quarter? I remember turning to my dad and I was like, this is how you lose games, is you turn the ball over 3 times in a quarter. They can't stop the run. Herbert's, I mean, he's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but I mean, is anybody, if you ask any single Chargers fan legitimately, hey, we'll trade you Mahomes for Herbert straight up. How many Charger fans are doing that? Everyone. Herbert's mom's doing that. Herbert's mom's like, I want, give me Mahomes. Yeah. I mean, there's no debate. So I mean, yeah. I crack up when people tried to, were telling me that Chargers might go to a Super Bowl this year. I was like, nah, just slow down.
Stop that narrative. Slow down. Better. You know better. The sports media will never stop that stupid trend about the Chargers. I try to tell people about that. Remember, I got on your show and I talked about that. Like, it's the Chargers, man. The Raiders are going to Raiders. It's just no.
I was very
like
high.
You said, for right now, that's what they do.
I was very high on the Broncos, but like I said, it's like a Ferrari towing a cheap camper. I mean, it's just they don't have the. Actually, here's the drill. I'll break down the Broncos. It's that they have a head coach who's a defensive whiz, and then they got an old school offensive coordinator, and it's just not. And then they drafted a bunch of guys that the skill position talent is crazy high for Denver, but they don't have the right coaching staff. If you gave Andy Reid this same Denver team, they might be undefeated. I mean, that offense. So? Oh yeah, that offense would be humming under Andy Reid. Well, I'll tell you what he would do is he would develop Drew Lock. He put Bridgewater on the bench.
Yeah.
He would develop Drew Lock. Drew Lock might be an MVP candidate because he's got Noah Fant. He's got 2 running backs that are both studs. And then they just re-signed their 2 receivers. And then the best receiver, Jerry Jeudy, he's coming off of an injury. They got 3 stud receivers, a tight end with all the athleticism in the world. I have no idea why they're having a guy who's 6'4", 250, runs a 4.5, and they got him blocking. Wow. I don't get it. Wow. Seriously, Andy Reid would turn this team into an offensive juggernaut, and they're trying to have their tight ends block. They want to run the ball. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So I mean, then it wouldn't surprise me if after the season's over, they fire their offensive coordinator and bring somebody else in, and that's kind of what I expect to happen. But as far as this week's concerned, look, if you're a Chiefs fan, the biggest questions you have is, are they going to cover the 9.5 points? And that's a debate, but are they going to win? Absolutely. I mean, I'm like, if I had to put a percentage on it, I'd say like over 95%.
That's a good percentage. Sounds like good money.
Yeah, if you just take the money line, you have to bet a lot to win a little. But
hey, everybody right now who's not sub to the channel, if you listen to his advice, you have to sub to both of our channels right now. Let this video be your guide. So you're sitting here and you're like, oh, I love Big Chief Shawn. Those tailgate videos are crazy. Who is this guy?
Those are some cool videos, man.
Thank you.
I love those videos.
Thank you. I do. I try. I really do. I love doing
the Arrowhead experience is just amazing. I don't know how often you go to opposing fans. Some of your videos you do, and I like them when you go to opposing fans. If you get a good opposing fan, like I sat next to some Broncos fans last time I went to Arrowhead, I sat next to some Broncos fans from Colorado. They were like, "Oh man, this is awesome! It's like the sea of red," and like the Arrowhead experience is just amazing. Even opposing fans love it. So
I love doing it, man. Like I said earlier, it brings people together because when they see the camera and they see it's all about the positivity, they bring it, and they bring it full blown, and it puts a spell in my heart. It's like what you doing with your channel, letting everybody come on in and have a voice, because in the end of the day, you want everybody's opinion because it's all football.
It's all, you know what? Let me share. I'll make this quick here, man. It was 95, and I was in Army Reserves, and I was in a warfighter exercise over in Germany. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the military, I was an E3. An E6 is much higher than an E3. An E6 is a staff sergeant, and we're in a warfighter exercise. So I'm talking to the guy, and finally he says, "I'm not used to privates talking to me like this," and he was all, he wasn't used to me talking to him like he was a normal guy.
Right.
So anyway, I was like, okay, well, we were the only people there. We were going to be in this tent for like 24 hours. So finally, where are you from? I'm from Chicago. I was like, oh, are you a Bears fan? Oh yeah, I'm a big time Bears fan. You're this Andrews guy. He's a cool guy. You want some coffee, man? I'm gonna go outside and smoke. No, come with me. And he's an E6, which is a staff sergeant. So he was in charge of a group of people. So every time somebody come in, you're like, oh, this is my boy Andrews here. This guy went from not liking me to me pissing him off. All of a sudden, I'm his boy because we shared the bond of being football fans. Yeah. And football's a bond, being part of a community. And that's kind of what I want to create. Is I want 32 fan bases to come together and just talk football. I don't care who you're a fan of. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, as a Chiefs fan, I love it when I get the fans like Big Chief Shawn here. And by the way, I'm gonna say it again. Subscribe to this channel. If you don't subscribe to this channel, you suck. But I mean, football brings people together, and that's kind of what I wanted to do with my channel, is bring people together, and also, hey man, listen to me, and I'll make you some money. I will make you some money. I promise. I'm not going to win every bet, but I will make you some money. I promise.
There you go. That's all you need. That's all you need. You know what, Dan? I'm going to let you go home and make more people more money. So, tell them where they can find you right now.
All right, man. Listen, it's the Dan Show on YouTube, but I got a website I'm just building. I'm not the best person at web design, but you can go to www.thedanshow.net. I'm getting it up and running. You can email me, thedanshow@yahoo.com. My social media, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. You can hit me up on any one of my social media platforms. You want to email me, if hey Dan, I don't know anything about sports betting, help me out, you can email me. I'll message you back. Give me within 24 hours. I'll try as fast as I can. The alerts from my email go directly to my phone. So you email me, I'll get the alert, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. You can make a message on my website. Any one of my social media links, you hit me up, I'll respond to you. And you can also always comment on my YouTube channel. I do my best to answer every comment within 24 hours.
See that? Now you're welcome. This is your boy, Big Chief Shawn. And remember, if you like this video, why don't you give it a like and a sub? We're on the road to 500, y'all. Help me out. I'm like 40-something away. We're playing.
Why aren't you subscribed yet?
Why haven't you?
Watching this and you haven't subscribed? What's wrong with you?
Why have you been sitting here listening to all this football goodness? Ain't subbed yet. You should be subbed to saying. I mean, damn. We sitting here working our asses off. This is your boy, Big Chief Shawn, saying, I will see you out there at Arrowhead in the Broncos game when we win against the Broncos and keep our first place and everything like that. So behave, eat popcorn, and go to sleep. Peace.